Hello guys and welcome back to our channel, to the Mauro. For those of you that have not subscribed yet, please do so. You see the little bell up on my left, so just click on it, very important, it's great for us. If you like our videos, please do so and do like them, hit the like button. And of course, if you have any kind of feedbacks, please do not forget, to write to us, because we're always open for any kind of new ideas. In this video today, I will show you how to make the most simplest, the most easiest pizza dough for your home. There's no professional equipment will be used, so we will be making the pizza dough with our hand. Exactly, because I said no professional equipment, we will be making this pizza in our oven. So exactly baking it in our domestic home oven. And you will see that the end result will be fantastic. It's gonna look better, it's gonna taste better, it's gonna be better on a lot of aspects, a lot of ways than many restaurants sell, food that they call pizzas. Fantastic end result, look forward for it. So, enough of the talk, let me walk you through on the recipe. Come with me. For the beginning, 500 grams of 00 flour, 70% of water, which means of course 350 grams of water, 3 grams of fresh yeast and 15 grams of salt. And then the method for that will be very easy. First, we will be dissolving the yeast into the water. We're gonna add all the water together because we will be using our hand, and then we will add the flour after, and then the salt, of course, at the last part, since, salt, it's not ideal, but anyway, salt itself, kills the fungus in the yeast itself. So we want to add it as late as possible into the dough. Very easy, very straightforward. I'm going to show you we only need very simple utensils to use for this recipe. I measured out the flour already here, and I have another mixing bowl on the side because the flour we will be adding gradually into it. The first thing we do, we put all the water inside, and then I crumble the yeast in. And I'm using a little wire whisk, and with this wire whisk I'm just going to make sure that all the yeast is dissolved well. Then I'm just taking a good handful of flour, then I'm gonna add it first, and still using the wire whisk, try to make the flour dissolve in the water. And I want to make it homogeneous as much as possible, so I don't want to have any lumps, I don't want to have any flour lumps in there. Then a little bit more. So this is kind of like, let's call it a starter. This is our starter. Once we have the 2 handful of flour in there, we have the yeast and we have the water, we just stop here for a minute and then we leave it to rest for about 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes, we're gonna carry on with the rest of the stuff. Once you can see those little white spots, the little bubbles are coming up, you see that the yeast got into reaction already. So you know that we are at a good time, we are at a good point. The rest of the flour inside, and then taking a plastic spatula, we're going to demonstrate exactly the same type of movements like a spiral mixer would do. Usually with a spiral mixer, you have the hook, which is spinning on one side, and then the actual ball mixes on the other direction. So if you're right-handed, then you take your left hand, grab the ball at 12 hours, and then move 180 degrees turn to 6 hours. And at the same time, we scrape and we mix the flour inside. If you are left-handed, you do exactly the same thing, but on the opposite direction, not anti-clockwise, you would do it clockwise. So right-handed anti-clockwise, left-handed clockwise. So just keep going, start mixing all the stuff together. And then at this time, we don't wait with the salt too long because it will be too difficult to add. So we add the salt in easily now. And then keep doing the same movements. We're not going on the other direction because we don't want to create stress inside the dough. We don't want to have any kind of structure damage in there. So just keep going and repeat the same type of action like a mixer would do. And keep going as long as all the flour bits are combined together into one lump. Keep scraping it off from the side of the bowl, go from side to the top. And if we got everything combined well together, that's the moment when we can fold it out from the mixing bowl straight onto the counter, or just like that. Don't put the mixing bowl very far away because we're still gonna use it, we're still gonna need it. So at this time, we just basically placing the dough right in front of us, and then what we're gonna do is just gently press it down a little bit, and then imagine it that we divide it into 3 equal sizes. So we fold once, twice, and 3 times. At this moment, we're going to turn it left and then repeat the same action again. 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3. And as you see that it starts coming together and shaping a ball, just keep repeating the same action. 1, 2, 3. You see that I'm not resting my palm on top of it. I'm not resting my hand on top of it because I don't want the dough temperature to rise. I want to keep it as much as possible cold because my body temperature is about 36 degrees Celsius. If I would add all this heat into my dough, then I would end up with something like a spätzle, and that's not exactly what I want. And I don't want to make pancakes neither. So for the pizza dough, try to keep it as cold as possible. So I'm only using my fingertips at the beginning. 2, 3. Then once you see it already came together well, then at that time I'm going to change the movements. So with the left hand, because I'm right-handed, I'm just going to be adjusting the dough. With the right, and using this part of my hand, just going to make the pressure. 1, 2, 3. Repeat again. 1, 2, 3. Just keep doing the same action. 2, 3. You see, the dough is coming very well together. Then if you have any bits left over, just keep working. 2, 3. Keep collecting everything on the table. We keep going with this for about 3 to 4 minutes. So once the dough worked well together, basically just fold it up like this. Now it looks very rustic on the outer part, don't worry about that. Just leave it together, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil on the top so it doesn't get dry. Just brush it there with your hand. That's it, very simple. And then the metal ball which you kept on the side, which is going to cover it. Leave it like this for 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes, we come back and then we fold it again. So I'll see you just in 10 minutes time. Wow, so let's see our dough. Woo! So you see it's already flattened a little bit, already relaxed, it's already stretched out. Now at this moment we just want to refold it, so we strengthen the dough, and also this little rustic lumpy bits on the top, which is not actual lumps, but it's like very rusticy, we want to make sure that it disappears. So just move it around a little bit, the pedal, and then once I move it, just place it forward once, turn it left, back, again 2 times, 3 times, the number 4, and then just stretch it evenly. Look at that, wow! Beautifully become, very nice, very smooth surface. Little bit of extra virgin olive oil on top, and then we are already good to go. Yeah. And then this moment, if you want to, you can leave it to rest again, fold it again. Usually I don't do it. At this moment I already portion it out, I already cut it out, and then I leave it to rest in the container. That's exactly what we're going to do now. So let me just grab a scale and I'll be back in a second. So since we are working with 500 grams of flour, I know exactly that 3 bowls what I'm going to be able to make out. So I take the whole piece, I put it on the scale, I weigh it, so it's 865 grams. That means for me that it's 288 roughly what I can get for 1 piece. The method will be exactly the same, just a little bit folded front. Again, 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 and again, nicely. Need to make sure that it's very tight, and also, when we put it inside the resting container or the pizza container, this folding point, the center part and the bottom, it always has to be in the middle. So once the proofing actually starts with the bowl, I don't want to go sideways left or right, because it will create difficulties with the stretching once they actually proofed. Now, very important, we're going to cover it. I put a lid on top of this. And because it's direct dough, an actual pizza dough which is made with a pre-dough, so I'm going to leave it out on room temperature for about 4 hours. Yes, 4 hours. They need to double almost in size, and the balls, when you see, actually it's the 3 at the moment inside the container, but the first 2, they have to touch each other. So they doubled in size, and then once they touch the size each other, that's the time when actually I'm going to put it in the fridge. Now, 4 hours room temperature, and then it can go into the fridge for next 16 to 24 hours roughly. If you want to use it today, then I'll suggest, that remove it from the fridge after 4 hours, and in about 8-9 hours time, you'll be able to work with it. If you want to use it tomorrow, then just keep it refrigerated, and then 1 hour prior to the baking, remove it from the fridge. Let's put this in the fridge now, and then we should bake it tomorrow. So I'll see you just now. Hello guys, and welcome back. We just had our little afternoon tea and a little nap, and now it's time to bake the pizzas. Yes, it is the pizza which we made in advance already yesterday, and this is something that I really look forward for, because here we didn't use any serious equipment. It was all done by hand, and we're gonna use an ordinary domestic oven. Very, very important thing is the settings on the oven, how you can use it. So I'm gonna show you just in 1 second before we actually start making the pizzas. Ventilation heating, conventional oven, and the grill function on the top is turned on. Maximum heat, our oven can do 275 degrees Celsius, so that's the maximum that we can do. That's it, pretty much, straightforward. If you look inside the oven, there is a biscotto there, a pizza stone inside there. Just I place the griddle in the middle, so it is as close as possible to the grill lines on the top. Pretty much that's it, for the setup. One thing, it's important to preheat the stove at least 1 hour in advance, so it can be at a temperature of 275 as well, since, we are almost 200 degrees below the actual temperature what we need for baking the pizzas. That's the most important thing. And let's bake these bad boys. So have a look at them. Ooh, they had risen pretty well, so they look fantastic. They just done exactly the job what I wanted them to do. So enough of the talk, let's bake some pizzas. Now, the story here will be pretty much the same at the beginning, but there is a big, big but, because after the stretching, once we're gonna put the sauce on top, we will not put the cheese on top of the pizza as well. We will be double baking it. Double baking means that first we're going to blind bake our pizza, that actually we're only going to bake it with the pizza sauce on top. Since the baking time, it's about a good 5 minutes, 5.5 minutes in an ordinary regular domestic oven. The cheese will be burned by that time. So 2.5 minutes we will be removing the pizza from the oven, and then we will place the toppings and the cheese on top, and then we put it back in the oven and we finish the baking process on it. Until then, the story is pretty similar. So first we're going to add the sauce, of course, and then we stop right here and go straight to the oven. Yep. First, what we're going to need is a neutral surface. That's why I'm using another baking tray, which I basically turned upside down. And this is going to be my neutral surface. So once I'm going to removing the hot half-baked pizza from the oven, I'm just going to place it on top of this tray over here, and then it will help me to slide the pizza very easily back inside the oven. We are removing our half-baked perfect pizza out there. You see, it's almost there. Very fast, we just add the Parmesan cheese, some basilicum on top, a little bit of mozzarella cheese, and the olive oil. And then straight away, we are rushing back inside the oven. Yeah, that's it. And then another 2.5 minutes, and it's done. Let's see how our boy is doing here. Oh, looking good. Wow, amazing. Ooh, that looks sexy. Very quickly, we'll just put it on the grill for now. And then the most important thing, is it soft? Is it crunchy? Oh, oh, oh. Oh, it's soft and crunchy. Let's get it over the plate quickly. And then, of course, cannot miss my favorite thing, mild sea salt, just to accelerate all the flavors. And then let's cut up the side as well to see how perfect, how good is this pizza. Guys, this is made in an ordinary domestic oven. For me, it looks 100 times better than a lot of shops are selling it as a food, what they call for pizzas. I mean, wow, Look at this, it's amazing. Ooh. Look at that, sexy. Mm. Ooh, ooh, ooh. If you had any doubt about that you can make contemporary pizza at home, or you can make a quality pizza at home that is better than a lot of restaurants' quality, what they call as pizza, well, then I must have proved you wrong. So, I mean, guys, this looks amazing. It's no question mark about that. I mean, it is fantastic, and I can assure you that it will taste fantastic as well. And the most important thing, no professional equipment was used, no mixing machine, dough machine was used, no expensive ovens, just ordinary, regular stuff that you can find at home. Well, apart from the pizza stone, but a pizza stone you can pick up at any supermarkets, anywhere, you know, for about 20 euros, you know, so it's not a price that you could not invest into something. So you don't need to spend hundreds and thousands of euros, you know, just to have some professional equipment at home. You can start simply by these steps. And as I always say, you know, there is no secrets in my videos. So if you like our videos, please do not forget to subscribe. It's very, very important to us. Like our videos, and I'm always open for your comments. Until then, I'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Ciao. It is brutal, amazing. I'll see you next time.